Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Vande Ham Shri Guru Ham Shri Rupanu Brahma Saraswasikam Charanayam Tampapannam Shri Guru Charanam Vande Namadhyasthaya Guru Rupanu Bhaktitam Charanam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Sadhguru Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. So first of all, I offer my respectful obeisances at the lotus feet for our spiritual masters, Nitlai Shivan Bhaktivedanta Sri Narayan Goswami Maharaj Shri Gurudev, Nitlai Shivan Bhaktivedanta Shri Vam Goswami Maharaj Shri Gurudev, and entire Manakari Guruvara, to all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, to all the guardians, and to everyone present today. So the question which has been raised by the Vaishnavas is, if you hear it for the first time, it sounds a little confusing. That does mantra take one to Golok Vrindavan, or does only the Naam take one to Golok Vrindavan? It seems that only one of the two can take us to Golok Vrindavan, but not both. Because this is the question, no? Like in Hindi, you have the Uttar Paksha and the Purva Paksha. So this way we see that here, from this perspective, it is being asked, like that there's only, if only the mantra or the naam can take us to Golok, one of the two, it means the other one should be avoided. So here it means that if you're chanting the naam, which can ultimately take you to Golok Vrindavan, because naam and nami are not different, then what is the need to chant the mantras? So this question is automatically asked. So what need is there to chant the mantras then? That we chant 3 times a day. Trisandhya, morning, afternoon, evening, we chant, beginning from the Brahma Gayatri, Guru Mantra, Guru Gayatri, Gaur Mantra, Gaur Gayatri, the Gopal Mantra, the Kam Gayatri, and then the Panchatattva, and then the Maha Mantra. So if only the Maha Mantra can take us to Golok Vrindavan, then why are we chanting these 8 mantras then, the first 8? And even the Panchatattva, anyway we chant during the day, so that's not even like counted. Means Panchatattva is also the same as the Maha Mantra, we chant throughout the day. So in this way, we see that the mantras in themselves, they only take us, it is said, until the point of Siddhaloka, it is said actually. Because if you see, when Gopakumar was chanting his mantra, his Gopal mantra, he was chanting his Gopal mantra, and we see that by chanting the Gopal mantra, he went everywhere, all over. He went first from earth, he went to Swarga, and from Swarga he went to Janarloka, from Janarloka to Maharloka, from Maharloka to Tapoloka, from Tapoloka to Brahmaloka. He kept chanting his mantras until then. But then we see that after he reached Brahmaloka, which is Siddhaloka, if I can recollect correctly, Gopakumar, I don't think he was chanting his Gopal mantra when he was in Ayodhya or in Vaikuntha, or even when he was in Vrindavan. That time he only, to set an example, it seemed he was chanting externally, but there was no need for him to chant. But why did he still chant in those places? Because he was showing that until his position as a Sakha in Golok Vrindavan was achieved, that is, he was Swarup, his covered boy, until then, therefore externally it seemed he was chanting the mantras. But still there is no need to chant the mantras beyond Brahmaloka. Because we see that the mantras in themselves, all these mantras, you see ultimately the seed form of the mantras, when we chant these Bij mantras, you see in the Bij mantras itself actually the entire mantra is present. The Bij mantra itself has the entire tree in its seed. Bija means the seed. So the entire tree is automatically present in the seed. But still, because the jivas don't have the adhikar, to realize that the bija in itself has the entire tree, therefore they chant the other names also. Therefore we see that Gopakumar, when he reached Golok Vrindavan, he did not chant the Gopal mantra anymore. He did not. He had the direct presence of Krishna there, which is the Ishtadevata of the mantra. He was present there. So then what need is there for him to chant the mantras then? And Krishna himself is standing in front of him. When the predominating deity of the Gopal mantra, that is Gopal himself, is standing in front of him, then why should he chant the Gopal mantra? So this way we see that these mantras, they're only meant to make us realize that the holy name is not different from Nami himself. Right now when we chant, there are 3 stages: Namaparad, Namabhas and Shuddhana. So therefore we see that to gradually go from the stage of Namaparad and then to Namabhas and then to Shuddhana, these mantras are very much needed. Because the example is given that there may be rice, there might be vegetables, there may be everything. But unless there's a stove, or unless there's a fire, how can you cook that rice? It's not possible. Similarly, Harinam itself is like these grains of rice. And everything else that is needed to cook the rice, like wood, water, fire and everything else, they're like the mantras. The objective of the mantras is that you realize the non-difference between the Nam and the Nami. So here similarly, when you're chanting these mantras, you have sambandha gyan. And then when you have this sambandha gyan, then automatically you will realize who Krishna himself is. Because we see there are 2 stages in regard to chanting the holy name: Sambandha Sahit and Anartha Rahit. So the mantras, they give this platform that first you have Sambandha, first Anartha's Sambandha, as Sambandha arises, then these Anarthas go away. Because right now we see that Rati in itself is of 3 types. There is Swacha Rati, Samanya Rati, and there is ultimately the Sthayi Bhav, which is Mukhya Rati, which is either Shanta Rati, Sakya Rati, Vatsalya Rati or Madhurya Rati. So this way, right now, there is Samanya Rati in everyone. Samanya Rati means that anyhow practicing the limbs of devotion, but still no transformation takes place. And only when one comes to the stage of Swacha Rati, then some advancement is felt. In the sense that when one is in the association of the Vatsalya Bhaktas, he'll want to be a Vatsalya devotee. And when one is in the sense of the Sakya Bhaktas, he'll want to be a Sakha of Krishna. And one is in the association of the Madhurya Bhaktas, he'll want to be one of the gopis. So this is Samanya Rati, Swacha Rati. And then there is Mukhya Rati in itself. And one realizes one's Sthayi Bhava. So until one comes to this stage, how can these mantras, how can one reach that stage? Only the mantras will help one reach that stage. Therefore we see the mantras, they give one appreciation of the spiritual world, of Krishna's beauty. Like we see when we chant the Gopal mantra, when we chant the Kam Gayatri mantra, it serves as Uddipan, to remember Krishna. The Uddipan is actually of 2 types. When you remember Krishna, then automatically his qualities, they become the Uddipan to remember Krishna. And then when you remember Krishna's qualities, they serve you to remind you of Krishna. So similarly, there are like 14 types of Uddipans to remember Krishna. The first is his gun, his qualities, like his Leela Madhurya, Venu Madhurya, Prem Madhurya, and Gun Madhurya, the sweetness of his pastimes, qualities, Vansi, his Prem. This is the first type of Uddipan. So when you see, when you're chanting Gopal Mantra and the Kan Gayatri, if you're really chanting more and more, our Guru Varga explained that automatically you'll have realization of these Uddipans. First there's Gun, then there's Chesta, the activities of Krishna. Means according to Astakali Leela, all the different pastimes he carries out. According to the Aparan Leela, Purvan Leela, Shayan Leela, Madhyan Leela, Pradosh Leela, Ratri Leela. So these are the activities that remind one. And then there is his prasadam, his cloth. So automatically one will remember his how Krishna dresses himself in his yellow cloth, and he has his pitambar, and then there's his abharan, his mandan, his ornaments, and then there is his decorations. So automatically, when one is chanting these mantras, some realization will be had. Because the predominating deity of the Gopal Mantra and Kam Gayatri is Krishna himself. So there must be some realization in this regard. And then one will have realization of his, how he plays his vamsi, how he plays this bugle. And then one will have realization of how his footprints are all over Brajmandal, his Padankita. And then one will see how his bhaktas are, how his dham is. So this way by chanting the mantras, realization is gradually had. Therefore we see that even when chanting the mantras at different stages, like Nyas, Prapatti, Sharanagati, Atmanivedan. And this way by gradually chanting more and more, then this dhyan, dharana, samadhi and dhruvanusmriti takes place. First there is dhyan, when one meditates on all the different mantras along with their Ishtadevs. And then there is dharana, which is one gradually gets fixed up in chanting his mantras. And then there is samadhi, which is an unbroken trance in remembering one's Ishtadev. And then there is dhruvanusmriti. Means his meditation on the Ishtadev is so powerful that cannot be broken at any time. So this way, as he's chanting his mantras more and more, then the predominating deity manifests of the mantra. And as the predominating deity of the mantra manifests, then there is abhideya, which means service. And then ultimately there is prayojan, which means prem. And what will give prem? Naam itself. So this way, by chanting the mantras, all these different anarthas go away, and then he achieves prem, and then he goes to Golok Vrindavan. So here we see, like the other day we were listening, like there is the Brahma Gayatri, which is actually the mantra of Srimati Radhika herself. This Brahma Gayatri. It is said that as one gradually advances, the Brahma Gayatri will transform into the Kama Gayatri. It is said that Gurudev would never give the Brahma Gayatri to ladies. He would never give them. Because he'd say that if the men chant the Brahma Gayatri, their hearts, they become soft. But if the ladies chant the Brahma Gayatri, their hearts which are soft will become hard. Therefore, he never gave the Brahma Gayatri. Like we see, like there's so many different types of bhavs. Like when we speak of one devotee who's karkash means very hard-hearted, then we say that for such a devotee, he is very gambhir, like the ocean. And he is very garishta, means very heavy. And then, when he is very gambhir like the ocean, even if a mountain itself falls into the ocean will remain undisturbed. And then when he is very heavy like a mountain, we see then that time if he is very heavy, then even when the wind blows, he will not feel any transformation. Similarly, when one is very hard-hearted, any bhavs will come in his heart, he will not feel any transformation. So therefore he says that Brahma Gayatri is not given to ladies. But then they ask Gurudev, then why does Swami Maharaj give this Brahma Gayatri? So it is said there is a history behind this. Initially, Swami Maharaj also did not give the Brahma Gayatri to ladies. He only gave that Brahma Gayatri because it said one lady in general. It is said she became very angry when she did not receive the Brahma Gayatri. And she said, why don't ladies also receive the Brahma Gayatri? She started arguing with Swami Maharaj, saying you should also give us the Brahma Gayatri. Then he said, all right, if this encourages you in your Krishna consciousness, then I am giving you the Brahma Gayatri also. So this way, for those who are already hard-hearted, it's said in this way that this mantra makes one more absorbed in Brahma Bhav. But ultimately we see that as one chants the Brahma Gayatri more and more transforms into Kam Gayatri. This way. So in this way, when one chants the Guru mantra, then he realizes Guru in his Sadak form. And then when he chants the Guru Gayatri, then he realizes Guru's Siddha form. How his Guru serves in Siddha Golok Vrindavan. Similarly, when one chants the Gaur mantra, then he realizes this Mahaprabhu's Prakat Leela. Then as he chants his Gaur Gayatri, then he realizes Mahaprabhu's Aprakat Leela. Then he realizes how Mahaprabhu is always present in eternal Shvetadevi. Similarly, by chanting the Gopal mantra also, when one chants these three names, if one is especially drawn to this Madhurya Bhav, then he'll like this name of Krishna as he who is the beloved of the gopis. Rather than liking the other names, he'll have some appreciation for the other names, that is Krishna and Govind. But he'll have more appreciation for this name, that is he who is the beloved of the gopis. And for one who is in Vatsalya, he'll especially like this name as Govinda. And he'll have appreciation for two other names, that is Krishna and he who is beloved of the gopis, Gopijana Vallabha. Similarly, one who is in Sakya Bhav, he'll like Krishna, and he'll have appreciation for two other names. And when one chants the Kam Gayatri, similarly we see that the sambandha devata, the abhidaya devata, and the pravision devata, they are all present in the Kama Gayatri. Because when you say, who's Kamadev? He's Madan Mohan himself. And who's that person who has the 5 arrows, 5 flower arrows? That is Govindadev himself. And who is this Ananga? That is Gopinath himself. So you see, they are all present here. And when you're chanting these mantras also, sambandha, in this way, when you're saying, like when you're using this word, like vidmahe. Vidmahe means, in one way, you're trying to have sambandha. And then, when you say dhimahi, dhimahi means as abhideya, means you're meditating. Vidmahi means you're offering yourself first. And dhimahi means you're meditating. And prachodayat means what? Means the predominating deity is prachodayat means prakrishta rupena udaya. Means the predominating deity is gradually manifesting in your heart. More and more, more and more. So similarly, when you're chanting these mantras again and again on a regular basis, like not just 3 times of a day, Purascharan means you chant them whenever you get time. In this way, Sambandha Abhidaya Pravision is gradually becoming more and more strong. And as this Sambandha Abhidaya Pravision becomes more and more strong, then the Naam you're chanting will also increase. The quality of the Naam will also increase. And you will have realization of who the Naam is in this way. So in this way, these mantras are very important. In no way are they to be neglected. Once they are told Gurudev that sometimes some persons would be admitted in the hospital and they would not be able to chant the mantras for 3 or 4 days. So someone told Gurudev that, oh Gurudev, I heard some devotees say that if you're in the hospital and if you cannot chant the mantra for more than 3 or 4 days, the potency of the mantras goes away. And you have to take reinitiation. Diksha second time. And Gurudev said, who is that person who said that? Call him here. Then they said, why? Gurudev said, I want to cut his shika. He said, this is not proper, he said. The Diksha mantras are always powerful, he said. They never lose their potency. Like he said, even if one gets operated and cannot chant for many days, immediately when he gets well, he should start chanting again. There is no need for him to take reinitiation. But then we see that if devotees lose their faith completely in the mantra, then it is said that in some way they should listen to the mantras again. Because they have lost their faith completely. Therefore we see sometimes some disciples of Swami Maharaj, sometimes they won't chant their mantras for so many years and Gurudev would whisper these mantras again into their ears. He would tell them, I'm only reminding you of these mantras. It's not I'm giving you reinitiation in this way. But still these mantras we see, they're in one way, without these mantras we cannot even progress in our sadhana even an inch. Someone told Gurudev, what is the need of initiation? Haridas Thakur never took initiation. It is not mentioned who is the Guru of Haridas Thakur, who is the Guru of Sarup Damodar Goswami. They never took initiation. Who is the Guru of Rai Ramananda Prabhu? No one knows. Can anyone say no one knows who the Guru is? So someone may say, what need is there for initiation? When the holy name itself can give all perfection. In fact, there is a verse like that also. It says that if one chants the holy name, there is no need for even this first initiation, second initiation, nothing. Because the holy name in itself is so powerful. But Gurudev said this is only in extraordinary cases. For sadhaks, this is most essential. And he said you should learn from our Guru Varga. Mahaprabhu himself took initiation also. He took initiation from Ishwar Puri, this Gopal mantra. And we see that before Mahaprabhu was Nimai Pandit, and after he took initiation, he became Bhavuk Nimai. And we see even Ramchandra also, in one way he received some mantras from Vasishta Rishi. He received so much Siksha from Vishwamitra. And Krishna also, he received this Radha mantra from Bhaguri Rishi. He said when he received this Radha mantra from Bhaguri Rishi, he fell unconscious immediately. So when we see that Bhagavan himself is taking initiation, then why not the sadhaks? This is most important. But we see in very extraordinary cases like Haridas Thakur and Rai Ramananda Sarup Damodar Goswami, it was seen that because they are the eternal associates of Mahaprabhu, there was like, they didn't need anyone to be their Guru, but still they accepted Mahaprabhu as their Guru also. It is not that they were independent. They also accepted Mahaprabhu as one's Guru. So therefore, one must receive these mantras. Or else, however much Harinam you may chant, for millions of lifetimes, it will bear no fruit. Millions of lifetimes. Gurudev said actually that if one is not surrendered, and if he keeps chanting as much as he wants, still it will not give prem. But if one is surrendered, then even if he chants a few rounds, that is so much greater than chanting the whole day. by a person who is not surrendered. So therefore, this sense of relationship is had. And we see that the Vaishnavas always say that even when we chant the Gaur Gayatri also, we see first we begin with this name Chaitanya. But then who are we praying to, like, when we address Mahaprabhu at the last part of this mantra, by which name do we address him? We address him by the name Gauranga, which means may that Gauranga appear in my heart. Although we are praying first to him in his form as Chaitanya, at the last we pray to him in his form as Gauranga. May he appear in our hearts in this way. And this way, even when we chant the other mantras, there's the last word which says, I offer myself to all these predominating beings. So this way is a very deep subject. We see that Param Gurudev himself, when he received initiation, when he didn't receive this Guru mantra, Guru Gayatri, he told Prabhupada, why did he give me this mantra? Should I go to anyone else? And Prabhupada was so happy with how frank he was and how sincere he was, and he gave him these two mantras also. So therefore, we must always be very careful, and we must diligently chant all these mantras, fixed number of times, and in the proper time also. Even the Vaishnavas repeatedly say that if you don't chant at the proper time, it is very painful for the predominating deity also. Like the other day they were giving an example. Like if you're chanting the mantras at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 1:30 in the afternoon, it means Krishna has gone cowherding and you're forcibly pulling him back. So this is also not good, no? You're like forcibly trying to pull him back. Also sometimes chanting like Anik at 9 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock in the morning when Krishna is performing his leelas somewhere else. Then by force you're pulling him back, saying, come here and appear within my heart, by force. This is also not proper. Therefore it's a Trisandhya. You must chant these mantras before, at least the last is 6:30, until 6:30. From Brahma Muhurta until 6:30 and again in the afternoon, the Sandhya time, and again in the evening, the Trisandhya time. Or else they will not give the proper fruit. So therefore, only praying at the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas that the quality of the utterance of these mantras, they gradually increase in our hearts. And we see the Vaishnavas themselves, when they received this mantra from Vaman Goswami Maharaj, immediately Vaman Maharaj told them that, if you want to listen to the explanation of these mantras, go to Narayan Maharaj and listen to him. And we see that they received so much siksha from Gurudev also on how to chant these mantras. And therefore, we can only pray that we can also have some realization of the Ishtadevs of these mantras, and then eventually chant Shuddha Naam, which will take us to Golokul now, without doubt. Ansha Kalpataru Dishya. No, Vishnu is Purti. विष्णुदेव की स्फूर्ति होने से अपने आप विष्णुदेव की सेवा वो होगी। एक बार सिद्धि हो गया तो छोड़े। जहाँ भगवान है भक्त भी उनके साथ ही तो बहुत सारे लोग आते हैं भक्त के साथ कुछ समझ होता नहीं होता भगवादी हो जाते हैं कितने भगवादी हो जाते हैं कितने तो ज्ञानी हो जाते हैं कितने सारे भक्त हैं या भक्त
देता तो है, कोई आए आपको भाई आपने पैसे दे दिया, मंत्र दे दिया, आपके पास तो हमने रखा है, क्योंकि उनका नहीं समर्थ नहीं, नहीं कर सकते, आप नहीं रह सकते, वो भी अपने नहीं रह सकते, आप तो समर्थ के मंत्र के अंदर रह सकते हैं।
वैष्णव का मंत्र जो है वो तो इसमें गिरफ्त नहीं होती है, जो नॉन वैष्णव का प्रॉब्लम सब
नहीं तो वैष्णव जब चीजों को बहुत पास किया भगवान के साथ संबंध, भगवान के परिवारों के साथ संबंध होगा,
अपने आप हो जाता है, संबंध
ऐसे होगा अपने आप चित्र होगा नहीं
प्रत्येक शब्द में वैष्णव से उपदेश मिलता है ना, मंत्र का उपदेश अपना है।
हाँ वही भगवान का मंत्र भक्त भी भगवान उत्तम का प्रयोग होता हो या महाराज जी भगवान के पास पर भगवान भगवान चलो यहाँ हनुमान जी थे भगवान के साथ, मेरे प्रश्न तो बहुत बोलते हैं भगवान जी भगवान प्रसन्न होंगे कि नहीं, यदि भक्त की उपासना करो तो भगवान अपना प्रसन्न होगा। बोला तो बोला दूसरा है, दूसरा नहीं, पहले अक्षर मेरे ज्ञान नहीं आता, तद्भुक्त परिचर्या अवश्य ही भगवान के भक्तों की परिचर्या करने से भगवान प्रसन्न होंगे, भगवान के प्रसन्न करने से करोड़ों जन्म जाएगा, भगवान प्रसन्न होंगे कि नहीं या भक्त प्रसन्न होंगे कि नहीं इसे कोई ज्ञान नहीं, भक्तों की प्रसन्न करने से ये गारंटी है भगवान प्रसन्न होंगे और भगवान प्रसन्न होगा। नहीं अभी बोल लो, खाली भगवान की कथा सुना दिया और मंत्र तो सुना दिया और नाम सुना दिया, इससे क्या होगा? कितने नाम करने वाला मंत्र करने वाला है उनको अनुभूति नहीं होता, वो नहीं होता है, प्रेम में नहीं हो सकता। क्या काल पर क्या बोला था? यदि ऐसे भक्त है कि उनके प्रति लोभ होगा, भक्ति करते हैं, किसी का है वो उनके प्रति लोभ करोगा, उनके प्रति हो सकता है, भगवान की प्रार्थना करें, भगवान प्रेम देंगे कि सब जगह तो ये बोला भक्ति संत में और में जितना श्लोक आपने बोला सब तो ये बोला, तो भगवान के मंत्र के नाम कितना उसका तो मैं आपसे पूछ रहा हूँ कि भगवान के नाम और मंत्र करने से आपने बोला भक्ति मिलेगा, लेकिन भक्ति मिला कैसे? भक्ति भगवान संगे न कर जाए सत्संग प्राप्त कुंभी पूर्व जन्म सुकृति संचित भक्ति मिलता है भक्तों के संग से। तो फिर भगवान नाम मंत्र का यहाँ क्या है? भक्त के संग नहीं हो तो भक्ति नहीं हो। भगवान नाम मंत्र करने से भक्ति मिल गया, देखो इसलिए भगवान नाम किया, भगवान से भक्ति मिल गया। ये तो मिल नहीं रहा है, बोलते अत्र कृष्ण नामादि न भगवत ग्राह्य नहीं सेवन मुखे जीवादो स्वयं। तो ये तो श्लोक इसके बारे में पहले भक्ति सत्संग प्राप्त होगी। फिर कहते हैं संत तो सिद्धन करेंगे, मगर से मुक्ति भी भगवान तो नहीं करेंगे। इससे भगवान के भक्त के स्वरूप ध्यान करके छोड़ के भक्त बन के आना पड़ता है। यदि किसी को मदद करना होगा क्यों महापुरुष सभी ऋषभ देवाए और इसके पहले जितने अवतारों को दिया है उन लोगों ने भगवत प्रहलाद मान इसलिए भगवान इतना बड़ा है भक्तों ने महिमा को दर्शन दिया था आपको स्पष्टीकरण करना है। भगवान भक्ति के द्वारा प्राप्त होते हैं। ये भक्ति कहाँ से मिलेगा? भक्तों को प्रश्न पूछता है कि भगवान भक्तों को प्रश्न किया है भगवान स्वयं कहते हैं पर प्रश्न से ये बोला नहीं कि मेरी सेवा करें। सबसे अच्छी व्यक्ति सेवा करो, प्रश्न करो और कुछ भगवान किंतु साधु के लिए साधु का प्रश्न है। जब भगवत आराधना तो सर्वत्र बोलना है, सब जगह में, किंतु भक्तों की आराधना होगा कहाँ बोलना है, क्या श्लोक है, क्या तात्पर्य है, ये सब संग्रह करना चाहिए। तो कुछ नहीं है, जन्म जन्म में जतन कितना भी कर लो बहुत प्रश्न आप भगवान को भगवान कहते हैं यदि कोई प्रहलाद की कथा प्रहलाद की जो ये सब जो कीर्तन करेगा प्रहलाद मेरे नहीं प्रहलाद से प्रहलाद तो मैं उनको मैं सुख दे दूँगा ये नहीं बोला कि मेरे सब कुछ पहले के बाद इसका तत्व जानने के बाद भी जब भक्तों की आराधना की पद्धति नहीं जानते हैं और फिर क्या होगा? मनोभाव कठिन हृदय शुष्क का निरंतर होगा। इसलिए ब्रह्म को बचना नहीं, भक्त को बचना है। तो भक्त का नाम है तो वैराग्य है। भक्त का नाम भक्तों के लिए बोला, भक्त ने तो वैराग्य में इस रूप में बोल रही आपको मैं पढ़ा पहले देखो ये आदत नहीं डालने से फिर आगे चल के कुछ नहीं समझ में आएगा। फिर ऐसा लगेगा मिला नहीं, कष्ट करके कुछ मिला समझ नहीं होगा नहीं। और नाम अभी पुस्तक को बीज कहाँ को लगता है? जमीन चाहिए ना खेत में डालने के लिए, खेती कहाँ है? खेत तो कहाँ है? बीज हम डालेंगे तो हमें तो मालूम है कौन सा सीजन में डालना है, कितना पानी देना है। गेहूँ में पानी देने से खराब हो जाएगा, धान में पानी नहीं देने से खराब हो जाएगा, और मक्के में पानी देने से सड़ जाएगा। धान में पूरा पानी में डुबो तो पानी मस्त हो जाएगा। कौन से भक्ति में कितना, कौन से भक्त का समय होना चाहिए, इसीलिए भक्तों में कभी देखा है नहीं शुरू से तो कुमार की बात या जैन की बात कोई भी है ब्राह्मण ये लोग सब जगह जाते रहे मिलते रहे। नारद जी से भक्त के जाते रहे, नारद भगवान भक्त है किंतु भगवान को छोड़कर सब भक्तों के पास जाने लगे और सबकी महिमा गाने लग गए, सबको पूजा करने लग गए। या तो कोई विष्णु महाराज आए पूजा करने, सारे उपहार को लेकर उन्हीं की पूजा करने लगे, उन्हीं को गुणगान करने लगे। ये दूसरी से मुझे बताना है तो भक्त नहीं कहते नहीं कौन भक्त है तो बोले प्रहलाद प्रहलाद के बोले मैं क्या भक्त हूँ, मैं भक्त नहीं हूँ। वो अमृत नाथ अमृत नाथ का तो मेरे भक्त है। इतने जानने के बाद में भी भगवत घोषणा किया है उसकी व्याख्या नहीं कर सकते तो भक्ति ना है। शास्त्र के नीचे करने परीक्षण करना किंतु मूल पुस्तक को संग्रह करो जैसा भारत में पूरा पढ़ा किस तरह सुनना और उसमें जानती भी है उसमें क्या इसमें देखा ये है कुमार ने क्या देखा है सब जगह गए सबसे मिला अवतार को लिखी मिला बिल्कुल नहीं हुआ अपने ब्रह्म में है कृष्ण भी मिले कभी कुछ नहीं हुआ। प्रेम से दोनों आप इसके ऊपर मुझसे कर बाद में क्या हुआ फिर जब प्रभाव के साथ तब ये से फिर उनको कृष्ण भक्ति रस करते हैं प्रेम करते हैं। इसके पहले इसी दूसरे चैप्टर में नारद जी ने देखना है समस्त विश्व ब्रह्मांड भगवान को प्रश्न कर दिया फिर सब भक्तों की जाते आप गोपियों को बच गए तब उनको कृष्ण प्रेम मिला ना। इस बात को क्यों नहीं सुना, बात को तब तक सुनना चाहिए, वर्णन करना चाहिए। यदि नहीं वर्णन कर सकते नहीं समझते तो ऐसे तो महाराज विद्या व्यायाम में लगाते कर का मन का जोगी मन का मन का बोले अन्ना रंगाई जोगी रंगाई जोगी क्या होगा मानो अर्चना आराधना किंतु भगवत आराधना से भगवान नहीं भक्त को आराधना से भगवान नहीं तो असीम नहीं है, कैसे स्पर्श कर सकते हैं? उनके पास क्या पहुँच सकते हैं? उनको क्या जरूरत है? वो तो जिनका कुछ है, उनका आराधना कैसे करेगा? ये बुद्ध जीव भगवान की आराधना कैसे करेगा? कौन का चाहिए? वो पानी चाहिए, कमी है उनका, वो तो किस समुद्र में स्नान कर रहे हैं? पानी की क्या होगा? पानी के अंदर रहते हैं, तो खाना चाहिए। सारा विश्व का जो भोजन है भगवान के एक पादर मनुष्य भी कितने विश्व में मांगव प्रदान पृथ्वी प्रसाद करते हैं, तो कौन सी चीज़ भगवान की कमी है? उनकी आराधना कैसे कर सकते हैं? इसलिए तत्व विचार और एक प्रेम सेवा वैशिष्ट होती है। तत्व विचार से कुछ नहीं होता। ये प्रेम सेवा जो है, प्रेमियों की जो सेवा है, प्रेमियों ने कैसे भगवान की सेवा की है, इससे राजस्व में दिन रात कर ली जैसे करनी बहुत दिन के पास है ये दिन रात है, फिर भी क्या करते निजन करेंगे, ये नहीं कहा निकट निवास है, निजन करेंगे। आपके जो निजन है, प्रिय है, घनिष्ठ है, उनके साथ में क्या कहते हैं प्रदुष्ट में ना तो वो सब भव्य अथवा बिना भविष्य भुगतान से भी तो पाद कहीं का भक्त कित जन्म हो ब्रह्म जन्म नहीं है। मेरे को भोज में ब्रह्म जन्म की कोई जरूरत नहीं है। मेरे को तो वो चाहिए जहाँ पे भक्त है, उनकी संग भक्त के संग तो भगवत कैसे हो इसको भगवत भक्त समझना पड़ी जाए। भक्ति करो बिना भक्त के नहीं, नाम कर लो मंत्र करो, नाम कर लो, कुछ भी करो ना, किसी ने कितना नाम किया कोई स्थिति ही नहीं है, मनन करते हैं। किंतु जब भक्तों की कृपा हुई करते 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 फिर ब्रज में आकर के गुरु के चरण धूलि में सिद्ध होकर के ब्रह्मा जी की धूलि का नाम आकर के सिद्ध हो। किंतु भगवत रूप में तो ब्रह्मा जी जा सकते हैं, पुत्र है जय विजय तो भगवान के रूप में रहते थे, तो भगवान की खूब सेवा करते थे, किंतु लक्ष्मी देवी का नाम रखते उसके कारण वो ब्रह्मस्वर करते इसी को विचार करना है। इन बातों को तत्वों को नहीं समझेंगे तो आगे चलके कभी भी कुछ भी जीवन में संभव नहीं होगा, न आचरण कर सकते न अपना कल्याण न दूसरे करेंगे। आत्मवंचन और परवंचना शास्त्र का सार कभी नहीं। इससे इतनी भक्तों का सेवा है, ये जो आराधना है आधुनिक आराधना तिथि आई तो तिरुमत तिथि अभी जैसे पूर्ण क्या थी सारा विश्व को निमंत्रण दिया, आज मेरा गुरु का आराधना तिथि है, ये नहीं कहा कि तिरुमत तिथि है आराधना तिथि। तब मेरा महाराज का मैं स्मरण करूँगा, आप लोग मुझे मदद करो और मैं भी स्मरण करूँगा महाभारत जिनके द्वारा कल्याण है। जन्माष्टमी करने से इतना लाभ नहीं होगा, गुरु को भगवान के अच्छा है। भगवान ने जमजट का महोत्सव पालन करना चाहिए, कैसे भक्त जैसे ब्रजवासी जनाधीश ब्रजवासी जैसे कैसे ऐसे करना चाहिए। श्री कृष्ण का जन्मदिन आया, इधर इसकी हो रही है इसी मास में, है ना? भगवान ने बोला है ना सब ब्राह्मणों को सब ब्रजवासियों की सब इसलिए आप हमारे कृष्ण भक्तों का आराधना से भगवान प्रसन्न हो जाए, खूब प्रसन्न हो गए। मुझे जन्मदिन मनाए कैसे मनाए, तो इसलिए अपनी पूजा नहीं करते, भक्तों की पूजा ही भगवान की। ये बातों को नहीं समझेंगे तो कुछ नहीं है। इसलिए कनिष्ठ अधिकारी का मतलब आचार्य में हो रही जो पूजा श्रद्धे रहती है, मतलब भक्तेषु चरणेषु समस्त प्राकृत भगवान जी खूब करता है, खूब सेवा करेगा, खूब व्रत करेगा, खूब नृत्य करेगा, आरती करेगा, पूजा करेगा, वेद वेदांत पाठ करेगा, सब करेगा, किंतु भक्तों की पूजा नहीं करेगा। जितना भगवान के लिए करते हैं जैसे तो पराभक्त यथा देवी तथा गुरु, जैसे भगवान के लिए करते हो ऐसे गुरु के लिए करना है, ऐसे भक्तों के लिए करना है, तो भगवान प्रसन्न होंगे, नहीं तो क्या होगा। चलो मैं जितना बोला आप बोल दो।
We just heard now that even if we chant all these mantras repeatedly, 3 times a day and so on, what guarantees that we will achieve perfection? Because we see that what is the mantra by which we can worship the devotees, the bhaktas? What is that mantra? We see only by chanting the mantras one can even have Brahma Bhav. One may become very hard-hearted also, can even become Mayavadi. So how will we worship the devotees? Because you see even in the Gita also Krishna said, Tad-vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadikshanti te jnanas jnanam tattvadarshina. That you must serve the tattvadarshis and you must listen to their instructions. Krishna himself is saying, Bhagavan himself is saying this. So therefore we see that even Raghunath Das Goswami also, when he has said Nija Nikata Nivasam Dehi Govardhanam, he is already staying in Govardhan, but why is he saying this Nija Nikata Nivasam? It means this, what is the meaning of Nija? Nija means the Nijajans, the eternal associates of Radha and Krishna, of the eternal servants of Shri Giriraj. He's saying, I want to stay with them, because only by staying with them will I know who Govardhan is, who Radha and Krishna are. Therefore we see even Bhaktivinoda Thakur has prayed that in Kita Janma Havatu Vas Bhayimukha Brahma Nahi Mora. That even if I am born as a keet, as a worm, as an insect in the home of a devotee, this is much better than being born as Brahma, who is averse to your service. This is much better than that. And we see Brahma also has prayed that, oh, even if I can be born as anything, any living entity in this land of Braja, even anywhere, then let it be in the house of a devotee, he said. Therefore, we see that without worshipping the devotees, Bhagavan will never be pleased. And this was seen in the history of Jaya and Vijay. Jaya and Vijay were the sevaks of Bhagavan. But still, what did they do when Lakshmi Devi wanted to come and have darshan of Narayan? They told her to wait. They did not let her to go inside. They did not allow her to go inside. And then what happened? They did the same thing to the 4 Kumaras also. And as a result of that, they were cursed. Became 2 demons. So in this way we see that everywhere the worship of the devotees is recommended. We see in Brihad Bhagavatamrita itself, we see how Narad Rishi is going from one devotee to another, one devotee to another. First he went to this Brahmin in Prayag, then he went to this king in South India, then he went to Indra, then he went to Brahma, then he went to Lord Shiva, then he went to Prahlad, then he went to Hanuman, then he went to the Pandavas, and when he went to see the Pandavas, what happened? When Yudhishthir Maharaj brought this plate out to worship Narad Rishi, to bathe his feet, perform puja, Narad Rishi, what did he do? Whatever things Yudhishthir had collected, he took all of that and he started worshipping Yudhishthir and the Pandavas. He said, thousands of rishis like me come to you. Why? Because there is a reason, because you have controlled Krishna by your service. And then, from there, from the Pandavas, he again went to the Yadavas. And then from the Yadavas, he went to Uddhav. And then only when Narad Rishi went to the Gopis, and he had a bath in their foot dust, when he bathed himself in their foot dust, only then did all his desires bear fruition. Only then did he achieve this perfection. Therefore we see, even like Advaita Acharya, we see, and Madhavendra Puri's Titi came, the disciplines day of Madhavendra Puri, he did not say Tirava Titi. He said Aradhana Titi. Madhavendra, what did Advaita Acharya do? He would invite everyone from all over Gaudamata. He said, please come to Shantipur. And you see, Mahaprabhu himself went to his house also. And Advaita Acharya in this way, he made everyone observe this Tithi of Madhavendra Puri. He had everyone sing the glories of Sri Madhavendra Puri in this way. And we see even in Janmashtami also, what did Nanda Maharaj do? He worshipped all the rishis, all the Maharshis. All the rishis and Maharshis came, he had everyone bless Krishna. And then, only after pleasing them befittingly, only then did he perform this ritual for the appearance of his son. So in this way we see that, in this way Bhagavan always makes sure that his devotees get the emphasis, and not Bhagavan himself. You see even in Mahaprabhu's Leela also, what did Mahaprabhu do? He offered Raghunath Das Goswami to Sarup Damodar Goswami. So he must stay under his guidance. And all the others, he offered them to others as well. But he said only under their guidance can you learn. Or else who will teach you? So in this way we see that if we do not realize that the devotees themselves, only by their grace can we achieve Bhagavan. If we don't realize this, then the essence of the Shastras will never be had in our lives. And no matter how much tapasya we do, how many austerities we do, even if we chant every day, we do so much, but we don't realize who the devotees are. What is the relationship with Bhagavan? What is our relationship with them? And whatever we're doing, it will not bear fruit, even after millions and millions of lifetimes. Therefore, we must see that every moment of our lives, we must remember the devotees. We must remember their causeless mercy. Only then will Bhagavan's remembrance be had. So therefore we see that Bhagavan himself is emphasizing always that more than even the appearance of my Tithi, the appearance of my devotee's Tithi is more auspicious than even the appearance of my Tithi in this way. And we see even Gopakumar also, when he was going everywhere, he went everywhere, and then even Jana Sharma, we see, he had, Jana Sharma would receive the mercy of Gopakumar everywhere. Gopakumar would remind him, saying, chant this Gopal Mantra, chant this Gopal Mantra. And only then did Jana Sharma achieve perfection. And we see Gopakumar also, his Guru Jayanta, he would always appear to him whenever Gopakumar needed him the most. Whenever Gopakumar would become lost, and he could not, when he did not know the direction of his life, Jayanta would come and he would say, oh, chant this mantra, give him instructions. But who sent Jayanta to Gopakumar? To Srimati Radhika herself. Srimati Radhika, she sent Jayanta to Gopakumar. And even after Gopakumar went to Golok Vrindavan, what did Krishna do? He did not keep Gopakumar with him. Rather, he said, now go with Sridham, go with Baladev, go with Subal. Now learn how to serve with them. So he sent them all with them. Like we see, even the gopis who followed the Kattayani road, Lord Krishna, we arranged for them to associate with the Nityasiddhas. So this way, even when we achieve this siddhi, even then we'll always have to be under Anugratya, under the guidance of the devotees. Therefore, we see that the main purpose of the Vaishnavas asking the question that why do we chant the diksha mantras and all is that even if we chant these mantras the whole day, but we don't offer our respectful prayers to the devotees, and all that we're doing is completely useless. So this is what they're trying to instill in us. That first know who the devotee is. First know who he is. First know what the relationship with him is. Like I kept saying that, we must know our relationship with the predominating deity of every mantra. So the Vaishnava is saying that unless you don't even know what relationship is with the devotees, how will you know what is the relationship with the predominating deity of the mantra? And how will you even be able to chant Shuddhanam then? When even the basic has not been understood. That is how you are serving the devotee, how you are realizing your relationship with him. Therefore, we need only pray to the Vaishnavas that before we even chant these Diksha mantras and even before we chant Harinam, we should ask ourselves, how much are we respecting the devotees? How much are we trying to follow in their footsteps? How much are we trying to adopt their practices in our own lives? And only when we realize some aspect of this, at least little aspect, only then will our chanting of these Diksha mantras bear fruit to some degree. This is what I want to say.